The Last of Us is a critically acclaimed video game by the studio Naughty Dog, loved by fans from all around the world. With its second part knowing a huge success, many admirers were wishing for even more content, and with the news of a brand new TV show based on the game, we can only wonder whether it will stay loyal to its lore. So, what can we expect from the series? And is it going to be as good as we think it is? The Last of Us was released for the first time in 2013. Back then, a lot of people had mixed responses to it, with some hailing it as the best video game ever, and others thinking it was just okay. However, with the release of the sequel in 2020, the game gained a more positive review, and its fan base grew larger. Of course, such a thing can only result in the studio investing their time and money to come up with even more content. But we won't talk about The Rest of Us 3 over here. We'll only be focusing on the show. Before we get started, let's give a little background about the characters and the overall story. The Last of Us tells the story of two strangers who are forced to travel through zombie-infested America, becoming as close as father and daughter as they learn to trust and rely on each other. Offering action-packed gameplay in service of character-driven storylines, The Last of Us has become an acclaimed and fiercely beloved franchise. The story and the character development is what made the game stand out, because if that wasn't the case, it would have been just another zombie apocalypse game. Now that we got that out of the way, we'll be giving more background about the show now. In November of 2020, the game's compelling storytelling was further recognized when HBO officially greenlit a live-action series based on the game. Fans have only gotten more excited as news trickles out about its cast, including Pedro Pascal, Bella Ramsey, Gabriel Luna, and more, and its budget, a rumored $10 million per episode. However, others were still skeptical from the whole thing, knowing how live actions go and how many failed attempts at making ones for famous franchises, including anime, cartoons, comic books, and even video games. Their concern is valid, however, it's better to wait and see before judging. As we wait for the first season of the HBO series to drop, here's everything you need to know about the adaptation so far. Also, spoilers are ahead, so be careful. The series is obviously based on the popular 2013 PlayStation exclusive game The Last of Us. It takes place 20 years into a zombie outbreak on Earth called the Infected, and the undead is inflicted by cordyceps, fungi that have mutated to infect, kill, and grow over both animals and humans. The video game's lore tells the story of Joel and Ellie, two strangers who form a close bond over the course of their journey through America. Joel, who is a hardened smuggler who has lived through the apocalypse since its inception, is tasked with escorting Ellie, a 14-year-old girl who was born into the pandemic across the country. Unbeknownst to Joel, however, Ellie is immune to the outbreak, having been bitten by an infected but not turning into one. Ellie's guardian, Marlene, sends Joel on a no-questions-asked quest to escort her ward to the other side of the country, where Ellie will be killed in order to create a vaccine to stop the outbreak. During their tumultuous journey, Joel and Ellie become closer, almost like father and daughter, and he ultimately discovers the true reason behind his quest. The series release date hasn't been revealed yet. However, a report from April 2021 from Collider revealed that the series began production in July in Calgary, Canada, and will wrap filming almost a year later on June 8th, 2022. Given the show's filming schedule, it's been speculated that The Last of Us will air on HBO in late 2022 or early 2023. This has since seemingly been confirmed by pilot episode director Kantemir Balagov, who included a release window on his official Instagram page. On October 20th, actor Gabriel Luna hinted during an interview with comicbook.com that the series should arrive sooner rather than later, by stating the following: "I look forward to everyone having an opportunity to check that out whenever it may come out. I'm not in the scheduling department, but it'd be sooner rather than later," he said. The series cast is as good as it can be, but it's also where the change can be seen, because changing the cast guarantees a change in the story. We have Pedro Pascal from Game of Thrones and Narcos as lead protagonist Joel Miller. Ellie will be portrayed by young Bella Ramsey, who HBO viewers already know as Lyanna Mormont in Game of Thrones. Joel's brother Tommy will be played by Gabriel Luna from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., while Ellie's guardian, Marlene, will be portrayed by Merle Dandridge, who was both voice actor and body model for the character in the 2013 game. Sarah, Joel's deceased daughter, will be portrayed by Nico Parker. Con O'Neill will play as Bill, an old acquaintance of Joel's. Bill, who appeared in the first game, will aid Joel and Ellie in their journey across the country for a short period of time. Murray Bartlett has been cast as Frank, Bill's partner, who was briefly previously mentioned in the first game. Australian actress Anna Torv from Fringe and Mindhunter will cast as Tess, Joel's smuggling partner. Don't go anywhere, because we're about to reveal the rest of the cast that might be responsible for the sudden changes of the plot, so stay with us. And don't forget to leave a like. Aside from the original cast, newer characters will be added to the story, making it different from the game's original plot. It was announced on July 15th by The Deadline that 3 more actors were added to the cast. Jeffrey Pierce as Perry, a brand new character that will only appear on the show. Nothing much is known about him except for being a rebel. It seems like he will be a person that will appear in one of the quarantine zones. The Friday Night Lights actor Brad Leland will also be joining in for the series, revealing during a podcast episode that he will be filming some scenes for the show, but did not share more information. Leland will play a new character named Mr. Adler, and one can only wonder what this character will be adding to the story. And finally, Zambian actress Natasha Mumba revealed through her bio on Instagram that she will be starring in the show as a new character named Kim Tembo. Further details surrounding her role have yet to be announced. With all of these new characters making fresh appearances for the first time, it's apparent that they will be changing the plot, with each one of them being involved with both Ellie and Joel. Also, Naughty Dog's co-president, Neil Druckmann, has also suggested that the show will feature Maria, Tom's wife, Riley, Ellie's best friend, and an unknown character with a 4-letter name, who gamers have speculated to be Anna. Anna, being Ellie's mother, will be one of the most crucial characters to the plot. Speaking of the plot, what's it all about? Now that we've seen which actors and characters will make it into the cast, we are still clueless about the plot, but we do think that it might stray a little further than the game's plot with the new characters. However, this is nothing but a theory, and we can only wait for the trailer to be released to be sure. In July of 2021, Tommy actor Gabriel Luna initially shared a production shot of the cast in action with director Kantemir Balagov, confirming that filming for the pilot episode had officially begun. The image Luna shared depicts a scene from the opening minutes of the first game, when Joel, Tommy, and Sarah attempt to flee the country at the start of the outbreak in a car. HBO later shared the first official still from the series in September, depicting Ramsey's Ellie and Pascal's Joel looking out onto a disaster site. On October 6th, director Peter Hoare, Daredevil, and The Umbrella Academy took to Instagram to confirm that filming for yet another episode of The Last of Us has wrapped. It's currently unclear how many episodes are left in the filming schedule, and on November 7th, Naughty Dog co-president and The Last of Us creative director shared that production on his episode of the HBO live-action series had officially wrapped. To the best TV crew in the world, thank you for your incredible work, your passion, and for making me feel so welcome. I will miss you terribly, he said. HBO's adaptation of The Last of Us will have 10 episodes. Writer Craig Mazin revealed in a July 6th episode of the Script Notes podcast with John August. Each episode will last about an hour. In comparison, the average playtime needed to complete the main story in the first game clocks in at around 15 hours. The difference in runtime between the show and the game means action sequences will be scaled back. Druckmann said in an interview with IGN, the changes stem from the show's mission to focus more on the characters and the storytelling aspect of the series, Druckmann said, rather than the action that drives a significant portion of the games. So, how do you like the cast so far? Do you think the series will follow the same plotline as the video games? Let us know in the comments down below, and make sure to like and subscribe to support our channel. We'll see you in the next video. Take care.